So, I was just thinking about that Riemann zeta function, right? From 3 blue, 1 brown, some poster on 4chan. I recorded something else about another way to solve it, right? And I was like, all right, so there's another way to solve this again, okay? There's a hidden function, or like algorithm or equation, whatever it is. That's all it is. That's it. That's literally what, yeah. So it's like when it tries to input any negative or a certain value, it starts switching. That's all it's really saying. It's just hidden. That's it. That's it, yeah. No, it's like, no, we have to discover what this, yeah, well, basically, yeah. That's what it's going to be. Like, no matter what, if you were to look at it, it's like, it's switched over, and it does this now. No, you did it wrong. Your PIMDOS and BIMDOS skills are wrong. That's what it is. Your order of operations here are incorrect. You should have realized that because it switched to this obviously means you need to have this to do that. That's all that's going to really be. That's it. That's how simple it is to solve that little fucking bitch. You know, over there. Yeah, that's it. That's all you have to do. But it's like, there are a lot of easy ways to solve that, for what it's worth, if you just want to make it an order of operations and like simple equation thing. I mean that. Like, oh, because of this then the function then shifts and changes to now doing this, which is programming. By the way, that's programming. Yeah. That's it. It's like, if this, then do this. That's it. That's how that motherfucker got you. That's how that motherfucker Riemann got you. That's literally what that is. The function is literally just trying to teach you, hey, there's a program here, and you're not realizing if there's an if there, then you should then turn it into this. That's it. That's all you got to do. And it solves it that fast. The other one's also going to be coming out. I'll just hit this one first, and then you'll watch that one. Right? But that's basically how that works. Because that's all you have to do to solve the whole zero thing. Just program. If this one, then just change it to that. And then that allows for that rational one, whatever the fuck else, that then switch to a different type of altogether equation function that allows for it to do that. That's it. Okay, so I saw this because obviously I was watching a zeta function, Riemann zeta function apparently, from 3 blue, 1 brown. It appeared randomly on 4chan's random board. Some dude said he solved it. I was like, I don't even know what the hell this is. What is this? Alright, well, I'll take a look at it. Screw it. Literally, that's all it was. Granted, I remember talking about it back in the day, but I must have forgotten thanks to all the fucking shit that has gone on with me. That's a 7-year-old video, but I used to subscribe to that guy. So, like, that's probably where that came from. Point is, I was looking at it, and I'm like, n is a natural number, right? But we would just need to prove that n in all natural, rational, real, whatever fucking numbers can be effectively gained from any irrational imaginary numbers. You know, after enough conjugatory of any given type of functions and any given type of, like, you know, addition, all that shit. And you can get eventually a real, actual number. That means you can then use that to literally solve for your little zero problem and go backwards. And also continue all the way to the point where you're supposed to get to in the given function. Making it so that way it doesn't just get too close to 2, but not actually. You know, because I'm kind of angry about that. I'm like, what the fuck? You should get to 2. I can do that. Give me a second. You know what I mean? Like, hold my water for a second. I can easily do this. Give me 1 sec. You think I can't keep making this continue? Alright, I just gotta start at a different point. Watch this, basically. And, like, that means I can then alter any given amount, because, truthfully speaking, we don't know, in any given point here, what leads from one to another. This gets into a near infinite infinitesimal range problem. So, like, effectively, we don't actually know where we have to then skip to the next number, right? Of course, like, that's not really how that works, right? Because, like, we're like, no, that's fucking bullshit, actually. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane to calculate, so fuck you. First and foremost, you know, fucking meme the cat, yeah. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, no. I do have a way to effectively make multiple functions work with multiple infinitesimals and multiple types of irrational and imaginary numbers to then effectively continuation of that given function and make it get to the point where I can solve that little zero problem that they want, but then I can also make it get to 2. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, you can just make it do whatever the hell you want. I mean, n is, sure, whatever, but like, who cares? I can literally make it do whatever I want. It's math. So like, unless they define specifically, it needs to be about this. But it's like, no, we defined rational. But I can make any number turn into a rational if I know what I'm doing. I can make any number turn into a real number if I know what I'm doing. So who gives a shit? You can make that fucking solve itself easy like that all day. It's just an n value. It's just an, like, what is it, O, or that little O thingy, you know what I mean? It's fucking, real greater than 1. But like, see, the thing is that they're defining it for 1. And that's the problem I'm going to have with that, because I'm like, but does it need to be like that? You didn't define that. Like, I can get it to 2. I don't have to not fucking get it to 2. That's the problem. Like, do you want it to be about that? Because then I can just effectively force a given pattern continuation sequence that gives me those results. That's all it takes. That's all that ever described. Like, even that guy was like, well, I'll just throw a -1 over 12 or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to care. You know what I mean? That's literally what it is. Equal fucking this. Solve it somehow. Fine. Give me a second. And it's just that, right? That's how fast that is. Because it's not that hard. It doesn't seem that hard at all. But like, we're talking about irrationals that are effectively infinitesimals that then have to be figured out and ultimately patterned and sequenced to the given, ultimate result that you're looking for. But then that's what any engineer and any given programmer is ultimately going to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, fine. This is what you want for a result. Fucking, you paid me. Next thing you fucking know, all right, there it is. Here's your stupid thing. Right? Not really. They'd probably be pretty. Like, does it work? Is it working? Is it working? I need to know if it's working. Is it working? When I plugged it in, it worked. That's the other side. Like, no, I engineer and all the fucking, and then it's like, but then real world. Right? It's like, hey, I present it to the customer. Hey, is this so good? Is it very, yeah, good, nice. This will be this amount of money. Here's a bill for all of the fucking shit. You know what I mean? But that's an easy way to probably get that solved like that. It's really not that hard. For what it's worth. But then again, you have to get into other versions of math for that. You know what I mean? Like, no, look at me. I'm rational fucking real guy over here. Let me get a bunch of irrationals to turn into rational and real, by the way. Fuck off. It's not even that hard, truthfully. Meanwhile, hey, my branch is not allowed to be in your stuff. I'm like, fine, I'll get dimensions involved. I'll solve for pi. Fuck you. Meanwhile, oh yeah, they did do that, didn't they? They fucking used string theory dimensions to solve for fucking pi to make it not irrational, and it has an n now. Really? It's impossible. There's no fucking way to do it. Are you kidding me? I know a way to do that. It's not that hard. Now, granted, they have to go through like a whole bunch of fucking stupid thing, and I don't really want to do that. But here you go. Here's a way to probably solve that. Baseline. At least it has a possibility, right? Now, the other one would be a different thing entirely. But, yeah, the what? Hey, 2. 2 is defined as this 2. Yeah, but how did you get that 2? See what I mean? Hey, you probably made that face and everything, right? 2. How did you get that 2? No one says I can't just use a different fucking way to make that 2 happen. Which effectively means that it's like, well, yeah, you said I have to make that 2, but it's like, if I go through all this to get to that 2, that changes, ultimately speaking, how it is I can use that too. Because it comes with caveats. These are different symbols and everything. I call them caveats. But really all they are is effectively, it's like, there's the illusion of possibly all these other possible symbols around it. It could be negative, there could be a fucking, this fucking thing, there could be a whole bunch of fucking, like, that's virtual. That's in the line of, like, you know, fucking quantum physics and mechanics. So, like, if you know anything about probability and, like, these are virtual, then they're like, yeah, virtually speaking, it exists as a probability, in a superpositional manner, you know what I mean? But you know what it really does, is it means that I can use that every single time, every step of the way. It's still this one real two, no matter the fuck what, and it's not, technically speaking, being used. Real technicality, because it's a virtual superpositional moment of, you guessed it, math. But, like, these are, ultimately speaking, little probabilities that then allow for me to statistically go, and hey, wouldn't you know it, it hit zero. Every fucking, it hits zero every fucking time, wouldn't you know it? Yeah, I just had to use some probabilities. You know, basically. And I solved it. That's how fucking fast that is. But, you know, you have to do the fucking thing. You have to get the fucking, and you know, I mean, I might get to it. I don't know. I have other fucking shit going on. I want to eat strawberry ice cream. It's a whole thing. You know, I'm not even kidding. I want to go eat strawberry ice cream. And I'm not gonna, man, it's like fucking close to bedtime. I mean, just crank this out like it's nothing. I have to go learn a whole bunch of complex fucking function analytical crap. I'm not eating the ice cream. I'm eating ice cream. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not gonna fucking do that. But here you go. Here's an easy way to do that. So, this is another one. I recorded 3 of these apparently. So, but I wanted to clarify what I was talking about in my first one that I recorded, and then I recorded the second one, which is probably going to be the first thing that I put out versus, anyways, point is, yeah, so, it's probabilities, but not just irrational and, you know, unreal and so on numbers that I use as a type of, like, way to effectively be the one. Because apparently it had to start at 1 or some bullshit like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, there's nothing that states that I have to have it be that, right? At least as far as I'm aware. But it wouldn't matter. Point is, it's like, I can still, it's 1. Right? But it's like, it's not though. And I'm like, that's correct. That's all that is. But it's like, that's a probability. Then that's like using multiple different ways and methods to effectively make it seem like it's not just fully just 1. You know what I mean? And like, that takes care of like the irrational and then the unreal and so on numbers that you can use in a multitude of different algorithm and or equation or whatever else you want to call it to effectively. Which, by the way, those are definitely defined things, like algorithms, like it has a repeating type of thing, and then it equals to this, but then, like, that's all, like, just a bunch of fucking, like, you know, math on a single big old piece of paper, and that then equals to this thing, which is really just programming. All algorithms are just a program, but an equation is effectively stringing together, you know, a series of very small things that are kind of more like, you know, rational or whatever numbers, you know what I mean? Like, that's all an equation really does, but then it has symbols to it, you know, and then you get a functional output. But see, like, that's really simple math, you know, really simple programming, but, like, all an algorithm does is it takes a bunch of equations and strings them together to perform a given, you know, sequence to get to the point in a pattern at the end. Yeah, so it's just programming. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all math is really just programming, but, like, you know... It all depends, for what it's worth. Like, this equation is a big, massive algorithm, but it's really just an equation, you know what I mean? And like, depending on how big the scale is that you want to really start thinking about it as. Anyways, point is that this is an easier way to kind of understand it as a probability sort of matricy, I guess, is what that guy said. You know, someone will probably say that. I'll get one of you statistically, like, you know what I mean? But, like, really realistically, it's like, no. It is 1. Yes, but it's also possibly lower than 1, and it's also possibly higher than 1. But also, no, it's definitely defined as 1. And it's not all it really would be. But that means, as a result, it can be a little bit choosy. It can be a little, and I can get to there, right? And, like, that allows for me to then alter, really realistically speaking, what the outcome is, right? Which is more realistic in math, for what it's worth, because that's what we're doing with the math that this is. So, hey, it works, but like, you probably won't like it because the definition is supposed to be exactly, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't really care what you're like. Really, honestly, I don't care. But the point is, it's like, yeah, no, okay, that's a way to solve that easily because you just didn't see like how it is that you could use that, let alone even dimensionality aspects to that given one, because that one could be a defined different value in multiple different ways, right? But it's just a switch. That's all it is. It's literally a program switch. If you want to think about it, it's like, it's a hidden algorithm. That's it. All it is like, and then once it gets to here, and it goes, and then it goes, and then we get to, the 0. That's all it's doing. But like, if you don't want to add that, then effectively there isn't a way to solve that. That's the point. All right. So like, my guess is, Riemann kind of knew about programming a little bit in algorithms because like he's big, math guy, right? Brain dude, with all those other motherfuckers. And he most likely was like, you know what? What if I just fucking made them get weirded out? What if I just gave my students like a fucking weird number at the end and then I wanted to see if they'd figure it out and then I died because nobody fucking figured it out? That all I was trying to get them to do is just switch the function. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. Like literally just, and then switch it over to this. Just, like be dynamic. You know what I mean? Like understand it's not rigid. Understand that that's how that works. Real stuff works that way, right? Even in math. So like you want to solve something, learn not to be rigid in that function and change it slightly. So that way, those given type of function, all that, allows for you to then, with that -1, right, it switches it into a different equation and algorithm for each one of that to then start, heading backwards, doing its thing. That's all I had to do. But that's my take on that, because that's an easy way to solve it. It's like that fast. It makes the most sense. You know what I mean? Like psychologically, the guy was probably like this. Then psychologically, a whole bunch of people were very rigid. Like the time of the and all that. They didn't know anything, but right. And then like otherwise, same thing with math, just in general, right? Like very you said this, only this. And I'm like, I don't care. All right, here's another way to solve it, but also like here you go, just switch, just change it over, and it goes and does its thing differently. That gives you the results you're looking for. That's all you have to do. That's like the function is still the function. It's still like the core function. It's just that there's a hidden way of doing that. That's it. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely absolutes. It's like, no. There's no. There's an absolute bracket around this 0. Why the fuck would you need to define it as an absolute 0? The fuck? Who is this? Why would this be a thing? What is it? It's absolutely 0. All things absolute all the time. Well, they didn't define it that way, so actually, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use... Right? And that's all that would really be at that point. So, that's most likely the easiest way and what was really going on. And if you really could try and solve it some other way, it's like, that's the only real way is to use these fucking weirdisms, essentially, in math for probability and like, absolutely changing, ultimately speaking, how resultively things move around on that grid. So, that's really all you've got. See ya.